This is one of the biggest stories very few people are talking about because, well, everything that's been going on in Minnesota, Minneapolis has been dominating the headlines with good reason, obviously. But if you weren't paying attention, over New Year's, the media tried to create another St. Floyd. And thus far, their lies have dominated the headlines across the internet. And one of the things I do here is expose nonsense and narrative lies by the mainstream media. It's kind of what I do for a living. And this one is absolutely bonkers. So I'm going to show you the way the media is presenting it, and then I'm going to show you the actual truth. I hope you enjoyed this journey. If you do, make sure you leave a like on the video. And if you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. Thanks again, real quick, to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Shout out to this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Look, if you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for. He was a good boy who didn't do anything wrong. A father of two who was simply celebrating New Year's. This is the way the media is portraying it. Loser Ben Crump. Keith Porter Jr., a father of two, a son, well, all boys are sons, and a brother whose life was stolen by an ICE agent. His family gathered in grief, demanding the truth. We will continue to stand with Keith Porter Jr.'s family until there is justice. What he means is tens of millions of dollars. So we see this vigil, okay? And yes, anytime there's a loss of life, it's not, I'm not happy about it. I don't think it's funny. I don't, even with Renee Good, obviously, I don't think that's good. I don't think that this guy's no longer alive. But as just like with Renee Good, I will show you a series of horrible decisions made by this individual that led to his passing. Oh.
Keith Porter's mother, overcome with grief at the
you got to play that Amazing Grace.
Carson, where she raised him.
Oh, yeah.
This is the second memorial in a week for the father of two shot and killed in Northridge by an off-duty ICE agent on New Year's.
Now, of course, he was just walking. He was just getting diapers for his baby when this happened. Just like that family in Minneapolis that raised $200,000 off dumb white liberals saying that they were on their way home from their kid's basketball game. They mean the grocery store. They mean their brother's house. Well, they're not really sure, but they got the money anyway because white liberal women are dumb. Okay, so he was just he was just out celebrating the New Year.
New Year's Eve.
Took our loved one from us. You murdered our loved one, and it's not fair. It's not right.
Okay.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, the off-duty ICE agent heard gunfire near his apartment and went to check it out. That's when DHS says the officer encountered Porter holding a long rifle. Advocates say Porter's gunfire that night was his way of observing the holiday.
Well, yes.
So we're clear. He took an AK, went out onto, the street of a residential apartment complex and was firing it in the air, which is a felony in and of itself. But again, this is the no accountability culture. It doesn't just apply to the black community. And it doesn't apply to everyone in the black community. It applies to white liberal women. It applies to conservatives. There is a culture of this no accountability in this country. It's why we're all fat like me. At least I know why I'm fat, and I'm trying to do something about it. But the last 10 years have basically been the media telling everybody that everything bad that happens to them is not their fault. And so you get people who think, well, he was firing a weapon in the air. By the way, also, according to the officer, pointed it at him and refused to put it down. But, you know, they're not going to tell you that part.
It was illegal, but at the end of the day, it's American tradition.
It's an American tradition. Firing an AK into the sky outside of a residential apartment building is an American tradition. Where in America is that tradition? I'm literally like, yeah, he was breaking the law. Yeah, but again, no accountability. What he should be saying is, I don't know why on earth a father of two was up at midnight instead of being a dad to his kids, firing a weapon into the sky in the middle of the night, and then refusing to disarm himself when a law enforcement official asked him to. I get grief. I'm not a monster. I really do understand. But, you know, again, they're not, of course they're allowed to be sad. But, you know, you have places like The Root and Guardian being like, oh, he was just a good boy who didn't do anything wrong. Here he is holding a blunt. Oh, I don't know what kind of smoke that is, but it's, it could just be a cigarette. It looks like maybe just a cigarette. It's a really long filter though. You know, he's just a good boy. He wasn't doing anything wrong.
But at the end of the day, it's American tradition.
I'm 80 years old. It's happened as long as I can remember. That's one of the things that happens. People shoot guns as part of fireworks and celebration of the new year.
But what? Listen, I live out in the middle. I'm not saying nobody does it, okay? But I am completely unaware of this as a tradition. Maybe it's more common in the inner city. It's possible. You know, I don't live in downtown Milwaukee, thank God, okay? But maybe it is part of tradition in the inner cities. I don't know. I've never heard of this American tradition.
But the agent allegedly ordered Porter to put down the weapon, and when he didn't comply, DHS says the off-duty officer fired his service gun.
Wait a minute. Let's listen to that. Let's listen to that. That is it also a part of American tradition to not disarm yourself when a law enforcement official tells you to?
Allegedly ordered Porter to put down the weapon, and when he didn't comply, DHS says the off-duty officer fired his service gun.
Good.
The agency claims Porter fired 3 rounds at the off-duty agent before.
Whoa. Are we accidentally having the truth? So not only did he fire into the air, which is stupid and illegal, okay? If it's a tradition in the hood and I don't know about that, okay, fine. He then fired at the ICE officer, okay? That officer, this is like an open and shut case. I have no idea why people are gathering in the streets. I get it if you're this guy's kids, family, whatever. I mean, what they haven't also included is was alcohol involved. I feel like it probably was.
Before he was killed.
This is a human rights issue.
The 43-year-old's death touching complete strangers. Judy Vaughn from Mid-City drove 20 miles to Carson for his memorial.
And so some dumb retired white liberal showed up to a random black guy's funeral. Does she know he fired at the officers? Probably not, because she only knows what CNN, and she doesn't subscribe to the Quartering like a smart person. She probably has no idea that he fired officers. If that reporter had any balls at all, he would have said, hey, did you know he refused to disarm himself and he fired at the police officer? Now, do you feel like driving 20 miles into the hood for this photo op was worth it?
Instead of marching at an anti-ICE protest closer to home.
We all need to recognize the shared humanity and come together. And I just wanted to be here to be a part of this group saying his life is valuable.
Sure.
His life matters.
Yep.
And we need to speak out in as many ways as possible.
This is a problem in the inner cities of black communities because most young black men don't believe their life has value. I'm not saying it. I'm saying that's just what they believe. You can tell that based on their actions. I think a lot of that comes from culture. I mean, almost exclusively comes from culture. And I think this is probably true of most people who do bad crimes, no matter their skin color. They must feel like their life doesn't have value. And so whatever they do doesn't matter. And they're going to go do it. Of course, you have that. Oh, he's got angel wings. Do you think when he got up to the pearly gates, God was like, hey, why'd you try to take that other man's life? Why didn't you, why did you try to take another man's life?
While LAPD investigates what led up to Porter's final moments, people here want the off-duty ICE officer identified, arrested, and charged.
Yesterday they doxed him. Yesterday they figured it out. The root, I'm not going to share this guy's information, but the root's like, breaking, we have his information. Again, so now these lunatics will probably be marching on his house and being absolutely crazy.
Hurt, lost. It was my brother. He was my life. He was my kid's life. He was the life of our family.
Why didn't you tell him not to be on the roof shooting his AK into the sky? Was that AK legally owned too, by the way?
Organizers say on Tuesday that they will attend LAPD's police commission meeting to petition the chief to make Keith Porter's death investigation transparent.
I mean, what else is there? Again, bro, he was firing an AR into the air in a residential apartment complex when an off-duty ICE agent who also lived there told him to stop firing the AR in the air. Porter instead aimed at the ICE agent and fired at him multiple times. He was then ventilated by ICE. Of course, the report, he was a good boy who didn't do nothing wrong. It's very difficult for me. Like, it sucks. I wish this guy made better decisions, just like Renee Good, who now has a child without her mother, his mother. This guy's got 2 kids who's going to grow up with their father, going to grow up hating law enforcement because they will be told that he didn't do anything wrong and that he was just a good boy. And the whole thing is a disaster fed by the media and zero accountability culture. I hope you were informed by this video. I hope you'll share it around, and I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel or follow it, and we'll talk to you again real soon.